Reincarnation is the religious or philosophical concept that the soul or spirit of a living being can begin a new life in a different physical body or form after biological death. This belief is central to many religions, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and certain sects of other religions like Sikhism, and has variations in how it's understood and interpreted. In Hinduism, reincarnation is often referred to as Samsara, a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth governed by karma. Karma, in this context, refers to the actions performed by the individual in their lives which determine the circumstances of their future existences. The ultimate goal in many Eastern religions is to escape this cycle, reaching a state of liberation or enlightenment, Moksha in Hinduism and nirvana in Buddhism. In Buddhism, the concept is slightly different, as the tradition does not necessarily believe in an eternal soul, anatta, no self, but rather in a continuity of consciousness that moves from one life to another, based on the accumulated karma. Western religious and philosophical thought have generally been skeptical of reincarnation, although it has been considered in various esoteric beliefs and, more recently, in some New Age philosophies. In these contexts, reincarnation often emphasizes personal spiritual development and the deepening of understanding through varied human experiences across lifetimes. Reincarnation remains a profound and complex component of many belief systems, addressing questions about the nature of existence, the purpose of life, and the journey of the soul. The concept of reincarnation can offer several beneficial perspectives and values that may be relevant and helpful in the modern world. Here are some ways it can influence contemporary thought and behavior. Ethical living and responsibility. Reincarnation is closely tied to the law of karma, which suggests that every action has consequences that will come back to affect the individual, either in this life or in future ones. This can encourage individuals to lead ethical lives, knowing that their actions will have long-term impacts on their future incarnations. In a broader sense, this can promote more responsible behavior towards others and the environment. Tolerance and compassion. Understanding that one might be reborn into very different circumstances can foster empathy, compassion, and tolerance. This can reduce prejudices based on race, class, nationality, or religion, as reincarnation suggests a fundamental interconnectedness and continuity among all living beings. Perspective on suffering and resilience. Reincarnation can offer a framework for understanding suffering and challenges as part of a larger ongoing journey of the soul. This perspective can help individuals find meaning in adversity and encourage resilience, viewing difficulties as opportunities for growth and spiritual development. Valuing all life. Reincarnation often implies that any life form, human or non-human, could be a vessel for a soul on its evolutionary journey. This can lead to greater respect for all life forms and might enhance environmental and animal rights advocacy, promoting a more harmonious coexistence with nature. Long-term thinking. The idea that our souls undergo many lifetimes encourages thinking in terms of long-term consequences rather than immediate gratification. This can influence decisions that favor sustainable practices and long-term welfare over short-term gains. Personal growth and self-improvement. Reincarnation can motivate individuals to focus on personal development, spiritual growth, and self-improvement, as each life is seen as an opportunity to progress towards enlightenment or a higher state of being. Coping with grief and loss. For some, belief in reincarnation can provide comfort in times of grief and loss, offering a hopeful perspective that death is not the end, but merely a transition into a new existence. This belief can help individuals cope with the death of loved ones or their own mortality. While not all these aspects need to stem directly from a literal belief in reincarnation, the underlying principles can be integrated into various worldviews and lifestyles, offering meaningful insights and guiding principles for living more consciously and harmoniously in the modern world. Explaining reincarnation to someone from a Western background, where the dominant religious and cultural paradigms often do not include beliefs in rebirth, can be challenging but also enlightening. Here are some strategies to help make the concept of reincarnation accessible and relevant. 1. Use familiar concepts. Start by connecting the idea of reincarnation to concepts that might be more familiar. For instance, many in the Western world are familiar with the notion of an afterlife or a spiritual existence beyond death. You can use this as a starting point to discuss how reincarnation is simply another form of an afterlife belief, one that involves a cycle of continuous rebirths, rather than a one-time transition to a heaven, hell, or a singular spiritual realm. 2. Discuss karma. Explain karma as a moral law of cause and effect, akin to the Western adage, "What goes around comes around." Emphasize that karma is not about punishment or reward, but about learning from experiences. Each life provides opportunities to correct past mistakes and to grow spiritually. 3. Relate to personal development. In Western contexts, there is a strong focus on personal growth and self-improvement. Reincarnation can be framed as a process of ongoing self-improvement across multiple lifetimes, each providing opportunities to learn new lessons and improve one's soul or consciousness. 4. Highlight scientific and philosophical inquiry. Some Westerners may be intrigued by the philosophical and even the scientific inquiry into reincarnation. Discuss cases studied by researchers like Dr. Ian Stevenson, who investigated children's claims of past life memories. These studies often aim to approach reincarnation from an empirical perspective, which can appeal to those who appreciate a more scientific approach to existential questions. 5. Connect with psychological concepts. You can draw parallels between reincarnation and psychological concepts such as Carl Jung's ideas of the collective unconscious or the process of individuation. This can help frame reincarnation in terms of psychological growth and the development of the self through various stages or lives. 6. Use literature and media. Refer to popular books, movies, or documentaries that explore themes of reincarnation. Western media occasionally incorporate these ideas, which can make the concept more relatable and less foreign. For example, films like Cloud Atlas or books like Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. 7. Discuss the diversity of belief in the West. Acknowledge that while reincarnation is not a mainstream belief in most of the Western world, there is still a significant number of people in various New Age or spiritual movements that subscribe to it. This shows that the idea does have a place in Western thought, albeit in a more eclectic and individualized way. 8. Explore religious and historical contexts. Mention that reincarnation is not entirely alien to Western thought. Elements of it appear in early Christian writings and in various mystical or esoteric traditions throughout European history. This can help frame reincarnation as a concept that has been and can be part of Western spiritual exploration. By contextualizing reincarnation in these ways, it becomes more approachable and understandable within the framework of Western beliefs and values, facilitating a deeper discussion about its implications and relevance in contemporary life. In conclusion, explaining reincarnation to a Western audience requires a careful approach that bridges cultural and philosophical gaps. By linking reincarnation to familiar concepts such as the afterlife, karma, and personal development, and by drawing on scientific research, psychological theories, and popular media, the concept can be made more accessible and relevant. Additionally, highlighting its presence in various Western religious and historical contexts can demonstrate that the idea of reincarnation is not entirely foreign, but rather an enriching and diversifying element of global spiritual discourse. Ultimately, presenting reincarnation in this multifaceted way allows for a richer understanding of both the concept itself and the diverse ways in which human beings seek to understand life, death, and the possibilities of existence beyond our current understanding. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.